This month counts as the end of 2010's decade. From early of 2010 till the end of 2019, we had so many great lines up of games that we got an opportunity of playing through, experiencing, and having fun with. So this time around, I wanted to present my own personal list of my best and top games that I think were simply phenomenal. First up is the Red Dead Redemption 2. As it's luxurious both in the quality of the image and the nature of the gameplay, the attention to the detail is unprecedented, both from the realistic action of NPCs to the general behavior of the environment. Even though there are issues with the controls, especially aiming your weapons, it's mainly why it's higher up on this list. But that cannot be undertaken due to everything else that this game strives to do is simply as fantastic. The Red Dead Redemption 2 has undoubtedly raised the bar for the narrative open world games and will likely have a lasting impact on how they are made in the future. It pushes the envelope of what we understand is possible in a video game. It seems that every time we get something new from Rockstar, things inevitably change. With the Red Dead Redemption 2, it feels like this shift will be defined by an experience that works hard to convince the players that they aren't necessarily inside a video game or beholden to the set of the rules that a specific genre dictates.
I need to remind you what is out there.
Next up is The Last of Us. Now, when I first heard of The Last of Us, I thought it was just not a zombie apocalypse. And oh boy, I was quite wrong. The tone of the game is quite clear from the get-go. The feeling of the dread is present throughout the game. Any town you visit, you're in awe of how nature has reclaimed its land from the humans. The visuals are sad and stunning at the same time. The game's take on this apocalyptic event is very realistic. Not to mention the fact that the fungal infection responsible for the shitty scenario exists in the nature. Yes, this is the real fungal infection which has been made into the shift of the species from ants to humans. This really grounds the game in reality and hence gives a more immersive experience. The representation of showing that the infected people are not the real enemy in the game, nor are the humans groups that we encounter from time to time. Now the real enemy are the circumstances that Joel and Ellie find themselves in. Also, the way the infected have been portrayed is pretty sad. You're frightened by them, but really feel sad as well for what they're going through. Technically, they're not dead, just very aggressive and batshit crazy. All in all, The Last of Us is worth your time and money, even more. It's backed up by some of the really solid story, voice acting, interesting characters, stunning visuals, fantastic soundtrack, and a really grounded take on the possible zombie apocalypse. I would highly recommend it to anyone who likes playing video games. Now, The Last of Us also is not just a game, it is an experience. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It definitely exceeds all of old expectations. Witcher 2 had a benchmark when released back in 2011, but its sequel has shattered it and the predecessor's records in almost all the areas. Awesome graphics, dynamic gameplay, huge number of non-repetitive side quests, crafting, potion making, and all those goodies which help in leveling up and making your character a truly dangerous foe and the stuff of the legends. This world is populated with intelligent inhabitants and animated by a new mechanics that make it a dynamic living, breathing place. As the players travel the world, witnessing many sunrises or sunsets during rains or sweltering heat, they see predators hunting their prey, villagers defending themselves against the monsters, lovers meeting by moonlight. The new in-game economy system varies the price of goods based on the surrounding conditions or their place of origins, encouraging players to seek out through the hunting and collecting items that are in the demand, which is re-envisioned approach to the narrative. The game will be accessible to both newcomers and old-time fans, and the tutorial eases the players into the game. Combat has been redesigned in order to combine the traditional RPG elements with the speed and precision of the dedicated fighting game. All these gameplay features are integrated into the robust RPG system at the heart of the game, where each mission has its own intricate crafting characters, storytelling, and it will suck you in for good, and you will not be able to let go. This is definitely the game for you if you like, for example, Skyrim, Grand Theft Auto series, or even Dragon Age. It is one of the best open world RPG ever made.
To a realm beyond your own.
God of War. Now, I was not a fan of any other God of War games before. They're not terrible, but I just found Kratos a boring one-note character and always angry. But that whole thing changed with this God of War. There's a great writing with the depth, character development for both Kratos and Atreus. The graphics are obviously far superior, but even compared to the other games coming out today, they are simply gorgeous. Kratos is actually a fully fledged out character now, and not just always an angry dude that wants to kill everything. The music is simply phenomenally beautiful as well. The game is far larger and less linear, with the interesting side quests, collectibles if you care about those, lore. There's so much that can keep you occupied. Even if you ignore everything except the main quest, it's still probably 3 to 4 times longer than prior of the God of War games. Cory Barlog took a pretty stale, one-note character in a puzzling platformer and adapted everything into a fully fleshed out, lore-deep, story-driven, phenomenal game. And it's not an easy task to do at all.
Welcome back, man!
We're all professionals.
Now, this is my game of the decade. Grand Theft Auto 5. Obviously, it's an open world game where everyone brags you can do pretty much anything. Granted, you can't do everything, but Grand Theft Auto 5 is the largest map in the series, with hundreds of scripted activities to do. The idea that you can run around anywhere, steal planes, cars, shoot people, or play a nice game of tennis is the reason it fits such a wide array of players. Beside the gameplay, when Grand Theft Auto was released in 2013, it was praised for its amazing graphics. Even today, those graphics hold up to some of the best. Grand Theft Auto 5 is a game that takes the real world and emphasizes all that is associated. It briefly jabs at about everything happening in real life in a world rich with the diversity. Now, this alone makes the game interesting enough to spend time playing without doing much to have fun. Now, obviously, from watching funny shows on your TV at home, or to slowly driving or walking around the city looking for NPCs' behavior and how they react, or just taking the streets terrorizing people while also giving them a chance to beat you in every now and again. It feels like a number of ways to enjoy this game are endless. Now, the storyline has a number of enjoyable missions that you will want to play again and again with different approaches differently. I also enjoyed the random encounters which involved cash in transition trucks, and I could rob or shootouts with the random people looking for trouble. Rockstar made a game for real and unpredictable, thus more interesting to play it. Grand Theft Auto 5 is one of the best games available. If you want a game you can play many times over and still enjoy at more than 100 hours of playtime, it is easily that. Grand Theft Auto 5 is my game of the decade from early of 2010 to the late of 2019. Now, tell me down in the comments what is your game of the decade from the early 2010 till the end of the 2019. I would love to see them. I'd love to read it all down in the comments. Alright, well then, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys all later. And yeah, have a good one.